listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's True Blood After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's True Blood After Show.
Here it goes.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
We're waiting for the love lockdown.
Love lockdown.
Oh yeah, nice. Ooh, oh yeah, ooh, I like it's so moody. That's very good. It's very moody.
I'm not loving you the way I wanted to. What I had to do, I had to run from you. But the vibe is wrong, and it haunted me all the way home.
It's my favorite part coming up.
Never know enough till it's over.
There's some serious control. I like when it went from a sway, now it's like a full-on snake.
That's legitimately awesome.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Legitimately awesome sauce.
All right, guys, welcome to our True Blood After Show. I am Jenna Busch, and I'll introduce my co-hosts first, guys.
Hey guys, it's JC Rubio. What's going on?
Jennings Roth Cornet, aka J-Roth.
And we have a very special guest today who was singing that lovely song, Love Lockdown, Janina Gavankar. Oh, hello.
You guys did not maybe know she would. I'm sure most True Blood fans know about your music as well.
I don't know if they do or not, you know, because I don't sort of try to work the music angle into characters, you know?
Right.
So not a lot of people know that I started, you know, my life on this planet off as a musician first.
Shouldn't Luna sing?
Yeah, I feel like no. I feel like Luna doesn't play piano. She doesn't play percussion. She didn't have the means to have an education like that growing up. So no. You know?
Yeah, but the music does feel appropriate in terms of the tone to play in the show. Some of it.
Well, that could happen.
That could be a thing. That could happen.
And I'm releasing a single on Tuesday. And it's called Waiting for Godot, and it's definitely kind of filmy sounding in bits, and my whole EP will probably be like that. It's all kind of hyper musical. So that's awesome. So yeah, I'll send it to everybody, and if it fits, then cool. Yeah.
I've been dying of curiosity since I read about it, but how does it relate to the play? Because I love that play.
How does it relate to the play? Yeah. Well, you know, the concept of, you know, waiting for a man who never comes,
right?
You know, I just sort of took that concept, and it's sort of it's this unrequited something,
okay,
you know, and just use it as a concept and wrote from there.
That sounds incredible.
I'd like to say that there should be an episode called Love Lockdown.
Yes.
And then they play it over the
yeah.
credits. Isn't that not perfect?
Yeah.
Maybe Waiting for Godot.
Maybe Waiting for Godot.
Well,
there's a whole
either
bunch
way.
of we'll see. That would be awesome. I would be honored. Are you
This needs to
kidding?
happen.
Can you imagine? I would die.
Little foreshadowing, just like the show itself. So maybe for season 6, we're
Maybe
planting
for
the
season
seeds.
6. Who knows?
Anything Love Lockdown could easily fit into an episode of the show, though. Don't you think that could easily work, especially now that the big reveal of this episode? What a big episode.
Yeah, okay, guys, let's just say this is called Save Yourself. This is the finale episode 12.
This huge episode. Just a
for
monster
everyone.
episode.
Yeah.
So what do we think overall?
One oh my god moment after the other.
Well, we were saying last week we had no idea how they were going to wrap up the whole season in 1 hour after everything that happened last episode. Yeah. But it absolutely wrapped everything up perfectly. And left us hanging for something awesome. But I didn't feel like I didn't feel unsatisfied. I felt very satisfied by everything.
Oh, good.
I'd also like to point out, if you haven't seen my Twitter feed, there is a fly in here.
There's a fly
and we think it may be Sam.
I feel like any time you see a fly now, you're going to be like, could it be Sam? Is it Sam or not?
Make sure to close your mouth, because if you open your mouth,
because he could explode your body.
That was kind of amazing.
That really was.
That paid off the whole fly thing, because I have to say that you guys turning into flies was something that I wondered about. I was like, well, they're not the same, you know, because usually with shifters, they're at least similar size to a human being. So I'm like, why a fly all of a sudden? Why? Though there have been birds. Before previously.
Yes, we've been birds. We've been he was an owl at the first episode. Hoot Hoot Merlot.
Yeah.
Right.
I was wondering why you haven't shifted into a fly earlier. because I think you guys are put in some dicey situations, and just like I'm like, just become a fly. And
well, he did. He did a few seasons ago,
he did.
didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember.
He was in,
Because
he was at the sheriff. He was stuck in the sheriff's station, and,
Yeah.
and he turned into a fly.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's right.
I remember that. Yeah.
that was this season, I thought. Okay.
Nope.
No, that was a. That was,
I think it was 3.
Okay.
I think it was 3.
I feel like it was 3.
Yeah, I totally think so.
know.
All right, so we're gonna start with Sam and Luna because you're here.
Okay.
And since we're
First
already
of all,
talking about it.
I would like to point out that you have the best job ever. Not only being around Nick and Sam, but also because you get to play with the puppy.
Oh my gosh, which I'm allergic to.
Oh,
I'm super allergic to the dog.
Because that wolf is amazing.
Oh my god!
So there have been a few, because we shoot a season over 8 months. So when we saw the first puppy in the pajamas in the beginning,
my God,
that
I
was
love that.
we shot that in January or something like that, So that puppy is already however old at this point,
Yeah.
It ain't a puppy
God.
anymore. I just keep buzzing. Oh, Newland. Hold on. Newland is emailing me.
What is
So
Steve
Michael
Ewan?
Miller?
Yeah,
Really?
Michael. Yeah.
Okay.
Tell him we love him.
Yeah, well. Anyway, okay. Sorry. Okay. We're also excited. I emailed Joe. I was like, "Hey, Alcide for president." That speech was awesome. Rutina was working those pants. Just texted her. I was like, "You were working those pants."
Seriously,
weren't you?
she was.
There were so many points, like the speech that Alcide.
It was so well done.
Knocked it out of the park.
However, do we feel like, and maybe we're getting into predictions a little too early for next season, but don't we feel like maybe Alcide, there might be repercussions for having taken the V? Or did he take the V? We
No,
don't know for sure whether he did or he
He
didn't.
had to have
he
taken
took it.
it. He had to take the V.
I feel like he had to have
totally,
taken it. He had to have taken it in order to win, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
However, are there going to be repercussions to that?
I don't know.
through
I
the
guess I
next
suppose we'll
season?
find out.
Yeah.
I
don't think
know
so.
if there will
But it's
be.
kind of
I really-
great because I don't think we've seen a pack be a super strong pack.
Right.
Yeah.
So next year we could. Look, I know nothing about next season, so anything I say is really just theory, just like you guys. Okay,
Right.
so just so everybody who is watching knows, I don't actually know anything. So, but it would be very cool to see a healthy pack
Yeah.
and see the powers of a werewolf.
Yeah.
And it at its strongest form without being messed up on V, because we've never really seen a really healthy, strong pack before.
That's true.
So
Yeah, and
it'd
it
be
would
very
be good
interesting
to
to see.
But
Yeah.
it is kind of like, I kind of liked the fact that they've let the characters be even more complex this season. I mean, it's kind of inherent in the show because it's monsters, and what are they?
Yeah.
Sort of people reconciling themselves with their dark and light sides, which we all do anyway as human beings. But I think it's cool that they've allowed him to have to make this choice to do the wrong thing in order to do the right thing.
thing. Yes.
Which is something, look, life is like that. We often have to make complicated choices.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Very true.
He does give good speeches on V.
He did, yeah. I know. I was like, gosh, he's really in control for being on V.
Exactly,
But the thing is that it's like the good shit.
It's the
you
good
know,
shit.
that's what
Yeah.
his dad said. It was like, yeah, that's some low grade, and this is the good shit. You
It
know,
was not the swag.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
So apparently he was really like, I wonder what that entails. Like, who is it from
Older vampire.
an
probably.
older vampire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're probably
Is that what
drinking
it
baby
is?
vamp.
I think
Yeah,
they
what
were
does
drinking
that mean?
baby
Yeah,
vamp.
because all these little baby vans are really easy to catch. I
Yeah,
guess. So.
it's like a nice brandy that's
It's
spinning.
like it's an aged brandy.
Yeah, you don't want to drink like new wine. You want to drink the good stuff.
The
that's
good
been around for a
stuff.
long time.
Yeah,
From
I
friends.
guess so.
You do not want the new grape flavored brandy.
Yeah, exactly.
It is
I
boons.
I liked his dad's weird eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert Patrick's one
I
little
never
black
noticed
eye.
it before
Is that-
today.
I've never noticed that before. Is that Robert Patrick?
That's Robert Patrick,
Okay.
and he's had that eye all season like that. Yeah.
It's
you guys didn't.
it's all season. Is that his real eye?
Is that
No.
his real eye, though?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess I've never sat close enough to him in a table read to stare into both of his eyes like that.
That's what I was asking.
I know, right?
Is it the character?
Guys, if you're
or
not
is
if you're
it-
not watking live, they're just amazing.
they-
on
by
screen.
the
They
way-
just had a moment.
We
just
did.
so you know, they're actually, if you're listening to this, they actually just made out. So you really
Way to
should
sell the
watch.
podcast.
Two geek girls just making out as we do. It's
That's-
just,
that's what geek girls do.
all the time. So that's why it's so awesome to be
Ay,
a geek
Dios
girl.
mío.
So
Were you? Let's talk
yes.
about, since you brought up Steve Newland is currently hitting you up. Were you happy with his Luna?
his interpretation of me, yeah. He just held something up and I didn't see what it said. But,
Oh, it's
Don't-
all right.
it's
There's
all
so
right.
many things going on in this place. It's very fancy around here.
lively.
There's many things going on. Yeah, I thought he was hilarious. You know, I love that he lifted the hip swish from Sam's Luna. You know?
Oh my God, that was awesome.
You know, but he was nervous because it was the first time we'd worked together. So Sam and I had 2 years of really getting to know each other. You know, I've never worked with Michael. Yeah, so he was like, what am I doing? So I sat in his trailer with him, and I did what I did for Sam with him, which was sat in his trailer. You know, did my interpretation of the scene as I would do it, and then he lifted whatever he wanted to. You know,
and made it his own. I liked it because I really didn't know until he was talking to Chelsea.
Yeah, exactly.
Where like and then at that point when she pointed out that he had lost his Southern accent,
you're like,
at that point I understood that it was Luna.
Right. Yeah. Right. So it kind of leads you on a little bit. That's kind of great.
And also when he says, don't change. No.
Don't shift.
Yeah,
don't shift. No, but I feel like Steve Newland could have said that to her too because he really liked the puppy.
Yeah, well, he said, he's like, don't you know that I get mad? Daddy gets mad when you...
I was confused, actually. I thought it was Sam.
For a second?
That was Newland, yes, because when he was the fly and he was looking at the name tag, and I said, okay, so he's going to become Newland. And then when we were all watching the show, and Janina said, rewind this and listen.
I was like, did you guys get that?
And I was like,
rewind.
I was like, yeah, I got it, sure. But then when it was you, I was like, oh, I thought it was Sam.
Yeah.
You know why I didn't think it was Sam? Because I didn't hear Luna saying anything as he picks up her daughter. Because if she was still in the cell as Luna and Newland walked in and picked up her daughter, she would have been like,
they were already flying around.
They
were already flying around as the...
Yes.
Can we talk about the fly cam?
Can we talk about the fact that there's a fly right in front of me right now?
So we were I know.
Hi, Sam.
Sam just wants to be a part of
the... Can we get a round of applause for Sam Trammell? Yes. He's flying around the studio.
Amazing. So
method
talented.
Actor.
So talented.
There we go, Sam.
That is method... Exactly, Jenna. That is method acting at its very best.
Very good. What was the question?
The fly cam.
Yeah. Okay. So they had a few different ways of how they were going to do it, and then in the end, it ended up being this sort of. It was about this big and this long, and it was like. Sorry, I did not say that.
Tell us about it again.
It was a couple inches long. She said.
That was dirty.
Anyway,
so it's like a little webcam that was like this, right? And then
size of your palm.
Yeah, and just sort of they did this. And what do we, just kind of shook it around, flew around the room. I mean, it was so weird, and it ended up having this filter, this cool fly eye filter,
really cool.
And that was it.
Who directed this episode? It was Alan, wasn't it?
Michael Lehman.
Oh, Michael Lehman. That's right.
Alan wrote it. Yeah,
right.
So it was his last one.
The last.
Oh my God.
We'll talk about that, about how you feel about that, and we have to make sure that we talk about that.
Yeah, sure.
If what your feelings are and your thoughts or concerns or not for next season are.